All right, everybody, working on the Jeep today. Noticed I'm running a little low on coolant. Topped off with some water yesterday, and I noticed there was a puddle underneath my Jeep. I came over here, noticed my all seasons heater valve was leaking. You can see it's wet right there. So I bought this not even a year ago. Replaced it twice already, and now it's leaking again. Apparently that's common on these, but I'm getting really tired of messing with it. And as far as reliability goes, I do not want to get another one and replace it and be back to this problem in the future. So a lot of guys, they'll bypass it, but they'll bypass it, run it straight back to the engine, and therefore your heater will not work. But I still want my heater to work because it works now, but I just want to have it work without this. Basically, the only purpose that this serves is so it can cut off in case the heater core is leaking. But my heater core is not leaking. It's basically just a safety feature. So if your heater core does leak, it won't piss antifreeze all inside your cab. But I'm not worried about that. The chance of that happening is, one out of never, versus, having to deal with this. So I'm gonna replace that. I believe they discontinued those all seasons heater valves in, I believe, 97. So when I did the engine swap, this block came out of a 99, as well as these hoses. So I believe 97 up didn't have the heater valve altogether. So as you can see, it's a full hose that runs from the water pump to the heater core itself. So that's what I'm gonna do. Should be just a simple bypass, and I should never have to run into this issue again. All right, go ahead and loosen the clamp. There's a special tool for these snap rings, by the way, but I don't have that tool right now. All right, go ahead and take your inlet and outlet off, like so. Coolant will come out, so keep that in mind. Watch out for your hard, brittle vacuum lines. Those have been known to break. And if I can, maybe stuck on there, just take your pliers, twist the hose around. If it doesn't come off, just cut it with a razor blade, because you won't be needing this anymore. There's one. Cut the bottom one. Pull this vacuum hose off. Be sure you plug that up too. There we go. All right, that's free. I took this hose off recently, so it should come off fairly easy, but don't take my word for it. Just take your knife, cut the hose. Go. Like so. I'm gonna gamble with this one. I'm just gonna cut it. All right. Just like that, this whole thing should come out. Bye-bye. I don't know about you guys, but I'm due for a valve cover gasket here pretty soon. It also looks pretty wet down there. I'll either put some Teflon tape or maybe tighten it down a little bit more. I'll look into it. But I recommend cleaning these off, get rid of all the corrosion, because otherwise probably won't seal back up. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that real quick. All right, got my hoses all cleaned up and ready. Be sure the inside of the hoses are clean too. You just don't want to risk any leaks. As far as setting them up, you don't have to worry about them getting switched, because first off, they'll just fall right into place. One's longer than the other, and also the diameters are two different sizes. If you look closely, one is slightly bigger than the other. This one goes from the thermostat housing to the top inlet there, and this bottom one goes to the bottom inlet into this return valve here. Feed it through. Now it loops around the dipstick. Just push right on, it's just fall right into place. And if it helps, you could put soap inside of here and it'll help it slide on much easier. Not sure how well it's gonna seal, but it didn't leak before. I don't think it's gonna leak again. Let's hope for the best. And then this top one goes here. Alright, the feed hose. I'm gonna go ahead and put that clamp on before I get the top one on. Alright, that's on. This is the fun part, finding where everything lines up. Alright. That one goes down there, this one goes up the top. Put the top hose on. Alright. That looks questionable. Oh well, we'll see. Alright. Alright. I can go ahead and fill her up. Alright, now time to add a coolant. So a lot of people are uptight about this. They say you're supposed to park car at an incline and go ahead and keep topping it off while the engine is running. I don't do that. I just go ahead and make sure my overflow bottle is topped off, make sure the radiator is topped off, and I go drive around for a bit, and then you can come back to it later and check up on it. That's how I do it. I've never had a problem. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add some coolant. Just let that drain down. And if it helps to burp the system, go ahead and squeeze this hose and air bubbles will come out. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn my car on, turn the heater on full blast. First of all, check for leaks. I'm not sure about that upper hose. I mean, you guys saw it had a little slight tear in it, but I'm not gonna keep these hoses. This is the temporary thing. I'm gonna go ahead and replace all of them come summertime, because these Jeeps, they leak in the wintertime, they overheat in the summer. I mean, it's inevitable. But this should get me back on the road for now. And then come back and add new hoses. It's probably better anyway. So, all right, let's give it a try.